Welcome to the Yoga Conversations podcast. This is your host, Harish Punjabi. I have been practicing yoga and meditation for the past 3 years. Being its student, I'm exploring this art in greater depths, hoping to dissect its mysticism, trying to make it accessible for all yogis and the ones who are generally interested to start this practice. We talk with teachers, masters, or anyone who practices yoga or meditation and has a huge impact on their lives. We'll get into the weeds of different yoga branches like Hatha, Vinyasa, Yin Yoga, as well as different forms of meditation like guided, transcendental, or gratitude. In the end, yoga happens beyond the mat. Anything you do with attention to how you feel is yoga. Let's begin with the show. Welcome to the Yoga Conversations podcast. This is Harish Punjabi. Today we have a guest with us, Ronak Gajjar. He is a 32-year-old yogi who has been radiating light through his spiritual practices, his meditative practices. His name literally means radiating light. He has specialized in at least 20 plus healing techniques. His search for spirituality started at the age of 2. And this is something that I really want to ask you about that. So, Ronak, welcome to the show.
First of all, thank you so much, Harish, for reaching out and, connecting. Thank you so much for that. At the age of 2, usually none of us remembers a lot of things. But what happened with me was very unique, where my parents took me to an ashram. And at that ashram, I was given a diksha. And I was not aware, obviously, that I'll be taking a diksha, a proper initiation with a guru. I remember that very clearly how it happened. The ashram was made of cow dung and a lot of trees. There were no proper, built like a structure, a solid structure. It was made of, hut, tree leaves and tree barks and that kind of one hut for a yogi to live in. And my parents used to follow that master and they desired me to take the mantra diksha, the meditation initiation at the age of 2. And, that's how parents took me there. But I believe it was not there is nothing as coincidence in life. Everything happens for the reason. So I believe my journeys was started in the previous life and I continued it. I was lucky, I was blessed to start it from the age of 2.
So it was a guidance from your parents itself.
Correct.
That they took you to that stage and at the age of 2 you got your initiation. Means wow, that is I guess it would be a blissful moment for you.
Correct.
So Ronak, I was going through a bio and you mentioned that you specialized in at least 20 plus healing techniques. So could you tell us more on that?
Right. So that's a very interesting question as well, because every healing modality had a story behind it. But let me start with the simplest one. When I turned 18 years of age, my parents moved to a spiritual ashram and they started their meditation journey full time. And that's where I was lucky. I got a job in a IT, call center where I was working in a, customer service and IT, semi-IT kind of job for US. So I worked that way in corporate for 4 years. And in those 4 years, I realized that I was making good money for being a 21-year-old guy, like 18 to 21. And that's when to visit my parents every 6 months, once a year. And I realized they are very happy. And in those 4 years, I working in a corporate job and making that money, no happiness. All of that was like, okay, you have to be mechanical, like a robot, go to job, come back, weekend is a holiday, weekday is a stressful day. It became very mechanical in 4 years. And that's why I thought that I need healing. And if I don't heal myself, I will go mad.
So it's something that the problem which you were facing, you are trying to
Yes.
find a solution for yourself.
Yes. So that's when I realized that I was meditating, but major aspect was healing your parents, healing your monetary relationship, healing your relationship with opposite gender, healing your relationship with spirituality. Because as we said, my parents got me a guru. I also had to search my guru. So after 4 years of IT, I made some money, I saved some money, and I went to ashram, from one ashram to the other, from one healing center to the other, and I started learning different techniques. I started with chakra healing. So I did a proper chakra healing course, and then I started practicing healing my chakras. And then I
Okay.
realized some are balanced, some are imbalanced. Then I worked on the imbalanced one. In the process, I learned a lot. And so, sound healing, crystal healing, chakra healing, massage healing, then Tantra healing. Then I learned hypnotherapy level 1, hypnotherapy level 2. So there were list of courses where I went on learning because I thought this is not enough. That is not enough. I need to learn this. This is in the market. This is trending. And that's where we sometimes get lost and sometimes we find ourselves.
So out of all these techniques, how do you, like in these current times of Corona and this pandemic going on, in case of energy healing, how do you help anyone?
So, with that, if I say what I do is I go ahead and do a video, like we are doing a video as well. I do
Okay.
a Zoom meeting, and before the Zoom meeting, I take their image, their photograph, the latest photograph. And because of the years of experience, so 10 years being in the same profession of yoga, meditation, and healing, you get good amount of intuition of the person without talking to them, without chatting with them a lot, just taking their photograph. I do my meditation and I get intuitive messages about that person. And then step two is taking a video call with them and then going on with some questions that to understand these intuitions which I got. So I will ask them the specific questions that, okay, is this way? And out of 10 questions, 9 of them are so accurate
Wow.
about
Wow.
their past, and they feel like, how did you know? Did you research me on internet? Did you know? And I am the last person to go on internet and search. And being on social media all the time, I want to be less on internet and more with myself. That's where once that question and answer round happens, they feel that, oh, this guy knows a lot about me. Then I come to an intuitive healing base. So I give them rituals. These rituals are techniques of meditation, specific tantra breathings, specific healing exercises and tasks. They
Okay.
follow that task for 21 days, 90 days, 45 days, and I keep a follow up with them. And then they get results. And on my YouTube channel, I have more than like 15, 20 testimonials now, like scientifically, that this person came to me for some healing and they've got this result. Some came for this, they've got this result. So relationship have got sorted, sexual trauma has got sorted, breathing patterns, stress and anxiety goes away, insomnia gone away in 2 weeks, 3 weeks time. So all of this healing happens, and there is science behind it. Spiritual science is very difficult to prove all the time. So
That's
I'm
true.
combining yogic science and spiritual science, which is 50 to 70% documented. But still there is 30% which is beyond you and me, which works. I don't have answers to that.
That's true. Means as that line goes, what gets measured gets managed. And what you're trying to do is, and I know that in India at least, we do not have these establishments to actually practice, measure, and document whatever knowledge has been passed on from our ancestors.
Yeah.
Can you give one instance or one step for our listeners just to understand what is your method, let's say in case of thyroid?
Right. So let's understand the thyroid first. Let's basic.
Yes.
Thyroid has two categories: the hyperthyroid and hypothyroid. And if you don't go too much technical, simple way, one person who drinks water also gains weight. That's a kind of thyroid. And one person eats 5 pizza a day or a big rice bowl and does not gain weight. And we have
Right.
seen both kind of people in our life, right?
Right.
In south of India, they eat a lot of rice, they never gain a lot of weight. In north, they eat a lot of roti, they do not gain weight. So that's one aspect of science. Now other aspect which science totally ignores, that thyroid is connected to the place where I have this tattoo, where on my neck, and that is a chakra, Vishuddhi chakra, where you talk your emotions. And your
Right.
thyroid is where you don't communicate your emotions to your parents, to yourself, to your loved ones, to your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, kids. And those blockage on your throat chakra can suppress the energy and help you gain weight. I've never seen a person with thyroid gaining a lot of weight on the face, but they gain a lot of weight under the body, like on their chest, on their stomach, on their hips, on their thighs.
That's interesting.
It does connect with the two mechanism of thyroid which we discussed, and there is a lot of science behind it. But the spiritual science says when you don't communicate any emotion, that emotion captures an energy and stores in your body.
Wow. Okay. Now it
and
makes a
that,
lot of sense.
and that emotion which is stored in your body, now if example here is, if you keep a banana outside the refrigerator, like in the normal in your kitchen, one day it will be yellow, second day it will have, or second or third day it will have black dots, it will get
True.
ripe. After fifth day it will start stinking, seventh day it will turn complete black and lot of flies will be around it. Now, what does it indicate? Everything on this planet can start fresh if you keep it that way, and you don't work and keep it energized. It will get ripe. It will stink. It will become stagnant, and it will be very difficult to see also, or use that energy. So
Agreed.
same way, your energy which is stuck in your body parts, internal organs, body part, will get stuck, will start stinking, and then that body part will start demanding too much of fat or sugar or bread or whatever your cravings are, and you will start storing fat which is not needed.
When you say it like this, it makes a lot of sense. I also see that whatever you feel emotionally does affect your body, but it is difficult to document and create a case study on this.
That's absolutely true, Harish. Right now, we do not have a proper mechanism for a person to know that's 100% this person is depressed.
Right.
100% this person has a lot of anxiety. 100% this person has a lot of OCD or some other disorder. It is not measurable mentally.
True.
Heart rate monitor is there, breath monitor is there. We have electrodes which you can put on your brain and say that the front part of the brain is getting a lot of energy and the back part is not getting. So maybe here you have a visualization brain and that's not working correctly. That can be measured scientifically, but mentally there is no control and measurement yet.
That's true. We do not have a thermometer or a barometer to measure all our mental traits.
Emotional state and mental state is not possible yet. Yes, Harish,
Yes.
correct.
Okay, so apart from all the healing techniques, you have been practicing meditation a lot.
Correct.
And I wanted to ask you about this story because I heard about this story on the Vishal Gondal show.
Right.
And you had mentioned that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you had mentioned that when you came with your wife to spend time in India, you had visited multiple ashrams. So,
Correct.
how did that happen?
So it was very beautiful and challenging journey. I had been away from India for 4 years in Dubai, and obviously, when you are in outside of India, you miss India a lot, and that's where I used to meditate. And I got these masters in my dreams, in my visions, and I started noting their name, and I
Okay.
started researching about them. And obviously, thanks to Google, I started getting all these names, slowly started connecting the dots. And I figured out that if these masters want me to visit their samadhi space, it will happen. So I list down that space, that dates, and I tell my wife, and then I leave Dubai for good in 2016, December. And 2017 is when we went for this trip. Hardly took us 2 to 3 months, and we did half of half of India, or maybe let's say 7 to 10 states beautifully with this ashram. So 2 days, 5 days in every ashram. There was no fixed agenda. So we knew that we have to go to Golden Temple and then we have to go to Gujarat.
Okay.
So if you like the energy of Golden Temple too much, you stay for 10 days. But then you go to Gujarat and say you connect to the energy, but this energy wants you to stay only 2 days or one day. Stay one day, next day go. So it was
Wow.
that way.
Wow. So it was
Exactly.
all ad hoc, and you were going with the serendipity and with the flow. So you went to Golden Temple, then you went to Gujarat, and what kind of power or energy you felt in all these locations?
All these spaces, everyone had their own unique energy, and
Okay.
everyone wants humanity to grow in human. They don't want anything else. They want humanity to grow in human, which is very difficult. Again, it's very
Yes.
easy to say, but it's very, very difficult. When I went to Neem Karoli Baba, who was Apple Steve Jobs guru and Facebook guy also, I forgot
Right.
his name,
Mark
the Facebook
Zuckerberg.
owner. Mark Zuckerberg
Yes.
also has gone to this. So everyone has gone to this Samadhi place, but the experience is very unique and different. I stayed there for 3 4 days, and when I was into that room, one room, a big hall kind of room, not a proper room also, a lot of his photograph, and his bed was king size. I could
Wow.
not believe a humanly possible that could be a structure of a human.
Yes, I have heard references that his body structure, people used to refer him as Hanuman, if I'm correct.
Hanuman, correct.
Yes.
So, and that's how I could connect the Hanuman and all of that. And when I was sitting in meditation, me and my wife were sitting, and I had asked that I want, and obviously when you close the door, people could come in and out,
Correct.
and it's open 365 days a year. People can just walk in. There is no restrictions during the samadhi timings. So I asked that, one of the wish which I asked, which I can share now, is that I want a personal appointment with you. I don't want anyone coming.
Wow.
No one should come when I am with you right now. And I want, if you feel that I am a seeker, just give me this personal time, and I would want to chat with you, talk with you, and connect with you. And for half an hour or so, no one entered.
Wow.
No one.
Wow.
And the moment that half an hour, obviously you keep your phone and there was no issues. So the moment the half an hour finished, someone entered.
Wow. Wow. So you wished for something which was granted.
Yes.
Oh, wow, man. Wonderful story, man. Seriously. I personally would like to definitely go there now. Yeah. So Ronak, how do you prime yourself for the day? Do you have any morning routine?
I do not have any morning routine. Usually people believe in keeping a morning routine. I believe the greatest space of spirituality comes, you follow your heart. Yes, there is a discipline required. There is a discipline, and that discipline is different from my morning routine. That discipline is I need to sit for 30 minutes of breathing exercise, pranayama a day, 1 hour of meditation. Then I meditate. That's 1 hour of sitting. Then 2 3 hours of different chanting. dancing, singing, different styles of meditation. So that can be a routine,
Right.
but that's a discipline. That's a discipline. But if you say a proper morning routine, I wake up at 6 o'clock, sometimes 5 o'clock, sometimes 7 o'clock. So there is no routine I follow.
Great. So it I guess speaks as your life goes itself. Your life is in serendipity, and again there is no routine for that. Whatever the heart follows, things comes along with.
Right. And the example here, Harish, is this is a very important thing. People have to know this. Do you know what time the sunrise happened today?
The exact time?
Exact time?
I guess 6:15, something like that.
Right. So let's say if I take your answer, it will be 6:55 today. Do you know what time the sunrise will happen tomorrow?
Around that time.
Oh, right. Around that time. Now that's a very important word there. When the universe has designed no fixed time to sunrise and sunset, why do you want to fix a time for your spiritual work? Discipline is different. Discipline is a must. There should be no fixed time because you should always be soaked into it. You should be merged into it, but not have I will wake up at 4 o'clock, meditate every day 4 o'clock. And then you are actually torturing yourself by getting up at 4 every day till it becomes a habit from within.
So what you're trying to say is, do not lead a timetable structure that is something which is forced upon you, rather than let it come from within.
Correct.
That's you've told about it beautifully. So Ronak, whenever now we understand that we do not have a chance of traveling in these times, but whenever you travel, do you have like a specific yoga routine which you want to like fit in before that travel period or after that travel period, so that whatever activities you have post that, you are ready to go?
That's the discipline part. So I do my 20-30 minutes of breathing exercise and 20 minutes of yoga exercise. That will be 10 minutes of Surya Namaskars, simple, like a basic warm up, and Surya Namaskars, 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, you can do 10 to 20 rounds easily. And then after that, Surya Namaskars of 10 minutes, next 10 minutes are basic stretching for the spine, for the legs, for the hands. And that's available on my YouTube channel. So I do like a simple back routine, simple leg routine, or simple neck, shoulder, wrist. So basic routine for stretching of the body, breathing exercise for 20 minutes. So that's more than enough. Yeah, provided you're keeping your diet. If you're not keeping the diet, gone. This 10-20 minutes will not help.
Right. Yes, it has to be a holistic approach. Definitely. But yeah, packing in a routine of Surya Namaskars, and that's the same case for me. Means I have a practice of doing every day, but if in case I have a crunch, I will at least squeeze in those 20 or 30 rounds just to feel good, and so that if I'm off to work or off to any other activity, it helps me out after that.
Correct. So that's a very good practice. And Harish, you are inspiring a lot of people, because this way, not many people practice this, right? Because they have everyone who comes to me as a student, out of 10 people coming in every 1 week or 2 weeks, 9 people have excuses.
Right.
I don't have, and now in Corona times, only thing you have is time. You don't have anything. You have time. People used to say, I don't have time, but now they have another excuse. I work in the office also, work from home. I do my housework also. I don't say that's not true, but you cannot deny the fact that at work from home, you can take 10 breaks. Your boss will never ask you. One is that. Second is, you can start your work at 11 a.m. and do your proper workout at 10 to 11. You can tell your boss, I start at 11, I will sit till 8 o'clock. I'm finishing my 9 hours, 8 hours shift, whatever you want, even 12 hours shift. But you cannot say that I do not have that 1 hour to work out. No, or meditate or do what you enjoy doing. Not possible.
That's true. It's more of a matter of will. And if you do not have that will, then you are not even able to put 10 minutes of workout in a day.
Correct.
Do you think the coronavirus is a culmination of our karmas as a species?
Everything happens for a reason, right? It's not a coincidence that COVID hit us in 2020, which is the most powerful year of this era. We finished a decade in 2020,
Right.
2020,
Right.
right? And it is twice the power and zero, the energy which is zero. Any number has zero, has 20 times the value. If it is behind 1, it is 10 times the value, 10x. If it is behind 10, it is 100x, right? So every thing which is happening has a proper reason. It is our karmic experiences also. And we give enough excuses to the universe. I don't have time. The most common excuse in the last 8 years or 10 years of my teaching of meditation, yoga, healing is I do not have time. People are in rat race. That's one of the top excuses. I can give you the best manifestation techniques which can give you magic in 1 month. But people say, I don't have time. I don't have time. You do it for me. They want a pill of magic. I can swallow it. Magic should start now. It will not happen. It will never happen. So
You
that's the
raised a
excuse we're living
valid
with.
point. You raised a valid point. Means I guess all these pharmaceutical companies or all these food companies who have played on our minds to provide us instant pain or pleasure, and mostly they are
Correct.
working on the pleasure part and seeking that how can they remove pain instantly. And this can't apply to life in a manner where things happen gradually, where it should happen gradually.
Correct. So it's people have stopped valuing that slow process.
Right.
People have stopped keeping patience. They have lost the understanding and connect with patience. If you don't get your internet Wi-Fi working for 5 minutes, it can get you mad and angry.
That's true. That's true.
Right? Second, humans wanted time for their family, their healing, their self-healing, and bring out their biggest fears. And you know what is the biggest fear? Money,
True.
security. What will happen? I will stick to one job for 10 years. I will retire in this job. Now there is so much of insecurity. And that's one of the biggest fears coming out. Money. If I don't have money, what will happen? So all that insecurities are projected out. The reason being, you are now getting stronger to face it. If you fight, you will lose the battle. You need to understand and raise your vibration above this, fears, and win over your fear using meditation, using your yoga, using your fitness, your diet. Just talking to your parents can heal you so much. Talking to your wife, talking to your friends can heal. But what happened? We stopped communicating. Corona happened. We don't even video call our friends every week. We don't even call our parents every week. If you start talking and helping each other grow, you will be at least mentally at peace.
That's right. Means I guess this year, if you see it from a different perspective, it is a great opportunity for everyone who had reasons since they were born. But now is the time when they can take an action. And again, this is not just about yoga and meditation, but even if someone is trying to look for a new job, learn a new skill, start a new business, this is the best time to experiment about everything.
That's true. It's just a matter of will and action, and how much spiritually you can see all this.
So Ronak, this is the last question. If and when you reach that stage of Aham Brahmasmi, what would you like to share with the universe?
I would only want to share my silence, because there is no point of talking. Everyone will reach when they have to reach. uh, I would invite people to meditate with me, and thank God to internet. I can do live sessions. I can do mass streaming, live streamings, and a lot more than this. But I would not want to talk a lot because many big masters have already spoken. Like when I listen to Osho, he has spoken extensively on every topic. When I listen to, I read about Neem Karoli Baba's life story or Raman Maharishi's life story and his way of living. So he's spoken about duality and non-duality, Dvait Advait philosophy. So when I read all those a little bit also, I understand all the gurus have spoken. So when I reach and I believe like everyone's quest is for moksha and aham brahmasmi state. But whenever it happens, I believe just sit and meditate with me. Whatever you have to receive, you would receive in silence because I listen to many gurus. I spoke a lot. And once you reach that state, the words will not make any difference.
That's correct. That's correct. So it's very similar to what coronavirus is speaking in silence to us. And it has showed us or reminded us that how life was beautiful. And again, we have that same opportunity. Ronak, thank you for being on the show. Where can everyone on the show, listening on the show, can connect you on?
So as I said, I'm highly active on social media, which is Instagram. So on Instagram, it is ronakgajjar, and YouTube is ronakgajjar, youtube.com/ronakgajjar, or simply ronakgajjar.com is my website. You can check me out.
I will definitely link all the URLs, all the social media handles on the show notes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harish, for inviting me. I'm so grateful to you.
Once again, thank you for hearing out the episode. All topics with their respective links and our email IDs will be available in the show notes. See you in the next episode.